He's lost his mind. Nico Harrison has officially spoke out about the Luka Doncic trade, Anthony Davis' future with the team, and why he thinks he should stay with the team, despite the comments made by Patrick Dumont earlier today. I'm your host, Joey Mercer. This is another episode of Joe Mercer Sports Podcast, and before we get into it there today, I just want to remind everyone to go down below, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, and every single time we upload, you'll be able to stay up to date with our takes on the NBA, as well as everything that you need to know around it. It's absolutely free, so why not do it? Go down below, hit that subscribe button. So without further ado, we're going to get into a few different pieces of articles that people have tweeted and so on and so forth. I know Mark Stein has been very active, and he's going to be having a show later on today, and go make sure to check that out. The DLLS Sports podcast will be on the go. I think he's joining that one directly. But we have to talk about what Nico Harrison just said in this media conference. This is crazy to break down the end of the year. There were some crazy questions. I know one reporter actually asked him why he thinks he shouldn't be fired, and he says that he thinks he's done a really good job with the team. I don't buy it, but this is what we need to get into. First, there's some good news. Mark Stein actually came out and said that Nico Harrison in that press conference said Anthony Davis, his adductor strain, will not require surgery this summer, which is some great news. At least there's something good for the Mavericks going forward, and he says he does not expect Derek Lively II, with his foot injury, to require offseason surgery either. So, I mean, that's great news right away. Then we dive into some more to do with Nico Harrison. Once again from Mark Stein, GM Nico Harrison says his relationship with Mavericks owner Patrick Dumont has actually been strengthened over the past 2+ months, despite the tremendously negative reaction to the trade of Luka Doncic. That's crazy for me to believe that all these rumors come out about Patrick Dumont saying how he didn't know that the fans were going to react that way. He wishes that Nico would have warned him of that, and now saying that the relationship's stronger, even though the fans are completely turning against him. Wouldn't it have been the strongest it had have been during the contract extension that they decided to give him at the end of 2024 after making the NBA Finals with Luka Doncic? That I just can't believe that one at all. Once again, absolute blasphemy coming from Nico Harrison. Then Mike Verkunov said, Nico Harrison, at his end-of-season press conference today, said defense wins championships, and we're going to hang our hat on defense. Well, you have to now. You have Anthony Davis. That's the guy that you're trying to put all your chips on, so to speak. When you're moving on from Luka Doncic, which is the best offensive engine, you do get a great defensive engine in Anthony Davis at a more advanced age, to put it nicely, and not very healthy either. You're worried about Luka's off-season habits of the hookah or drinking alcohol, and now you're taking on Anthony Davis, who could just simply miss time because he's injured, and known as a very fragile player when it comes to the injury department, is not a great situation, and why Mavs fans have ultimately turned on this deal. Then we can see that Nico Harrison came out and said, if he foresaw the blowback to the Luka deal, I did not know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to that level. He said plan was that Mavericks would win to have quieted some of the outrage, and so unfortunately we weren't able to do that. No position. They were the 10th seed. They barely made it into the play-in, let alone winning it all. I mean, they just did not have the roster to do it. Kyrie obviously got injured, but even if Kyrie was there, I don't think they're making noise in the playoffs. They just gave up on Luka Doncic. That's how they were going to contend. Why move on from a guy that you can clearly see with the roster you've built specifically around him could make it to the finals, and then go move on from him and say you can quiet the fans? You didn't know that they believed in him that much? Why would you not? Everybody loves Luka. He's one of the most likable guys in the entire NBA. That's absolutely crazy, in my opinion, for him to think that and then say, we'll silence the fans, we win a championship. No, there's future. Luka could have won multiple championships with the Mavericks. Davis is going to give you one maximum, and I don't even know how they're going to do it with that at his age, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. We can also see when we look into just recently, it says right here, once again from Mike Verkunov, Nico Harrison on belief the Mavs didn't get enough for Luka Doncic. He came out and said, this is quoted, If you don't value AD as an all-NBA player, an all-defensive player, then you're not going to like the trade. I don't. The reason I don't is you've got to play 65 games to reach that minimum and win those types of accomplishments or awards. And it simply is not going to happen. Him playing 65 games has not happened very often at all. And I know he did it last year, but he didn't do it this year. So I don't really see if that happening for Davis in the future. He's that caliber type of player. I know where he's coming from, but you need somebody that's more reliable. And who was that? Luka Doncic. Then it goes on here. It says we targeted AD, but if you don't like him, then there's nothing else we get that's going to make you excited about the trade. Like, nobody's excited about this trade. If anybody is, it's Nico Harrison and maybe Patrick Dumont in the moment. Doesn't seem like he is anymore. But there is nobody around Dallas at all, if you followed anything to do with that and what's been going on in the streets. I won't get too far into that. Or anybody in the NBA world that is excited about this trade. It makes absolutely no sense. And it really makes you want to root against the Mavericks as opposed to for them when they've made such a monumental, horrible decision as moving on for Luka Doncic. Well, this is all I've got to say about this one right now. I'm sure I could rant on and on and on, but let's cut that short right here and save it for more news that develops, to put it with that, to make more sense. But let me know what you think about this down below in the comments section. Make sure if you made this far to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications, and I'll see you all in the next video.